Welcome to Moving Meditation with Amy. Today is all about balance, so we're going to be coming in and out of balances throughout our sequences. Sometimes balancing can be a little bit challenging and frustrating, but what I want you to focus on is letting go of expectations or judgments of yourself and just take it and learn from each time you have to set your foot down or take it back a notch. So anyway, let's get started in child's pose and we'll get moving. You can bring your big toes together, knees as wide as it feels comfortable, and slowly reach out into that extended child's pose. You might have yourself up on your elbows like me, or maybe arms fully extended or wrapped back by your sides. The point is just to start to connect to the body, finding a little stillness before we start our movement. As you take that deep breath in, think you're filling up your whole torso. Do a mental scan of just how you're feeling today, maybe emotionally, maybe mentally thinking about if you're stressed, if you're calm, full of energy or low on energy. Just notice it. Hopefully by the end of your practice, you kind of feel a little bit more balanced out. Take a few breaths to do a physical scan, so if you feel any tension or tightness. And again, hopefully that tension and tightness will kind of melt away. Feel it good at the end, even during, right away. Okay, slowly coming up to your all fours position, so bringing the hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Slowly just start our cat-cow. Moving the spine around, the neck. Usually in cat-cow, we inhale as the belly drops, and exhale as we round forward or round up. Usually adding kind of a neck reaching back into the side when you're in cow feels good because that's just the way your spine is going. Instead of when you're rounded to try to look up, that feels not as natural. So as the belly drops, maybe looking up, stretching out the front of the neck. Then when you're down, head is down into that cat, that's maybe when you're going to tuck your chin, feel long through the back of your neck. Warming up the wrist just a little bit. This warm up, I'm going to have us do, I call them hand push-ups. So we're going to kind of press into the mat with our fingers and using a lot of just our upper or our lower body to lift our, like right now I'm not using any of my hands, right? So I'm going to kind of start to work the hands, sharing the work between what my hands can do, what my fingertips can do, and forearms, and my lower body is picking up the remainder of that weight. Good, just warming up all those muscles, the palm of the hand that's connected to those fingers. Good, let's leave them down, but let's flip one hand back, stretching out what we just kind of woke up. And then other side. Let's do a couple of our low flows and then make our way into down dog to warm up those ankles and calves. So bringing it into our extended child's pose or kind of puppy pose with the hips off, and then reach forward, finding your kneeling plank. Engage that core, slowly lower down, hovering off the mat, trying to lift back up, engage that upper back, and press back to child's pose. Let's go 2 more times. Forward with your inhale, exhale as you drop, inhale as you lift, and exhale as you're back. One more time, forward and down, up and back. Remember, that can always be your flow, your transition flow throughout all of class. You just come down to the knees and eventually make your way back up to down dog. So we'll do that here. So flip those toes under, push the hips high, and walk out the heels. Think how we went up to the tips of our fingers. Let's come up to the tips of our toes. So exhale, drop the heels down. Inhale, lift up. Remember, you keep a strong, stable body from the hands to the shoulders, to the rib cage, and then that tailbone lifts. Knees might be bent. And then we're going to take a moment for one at a time. So let's drop that right heel down. Maybe picking up that left foot. And then let's switch. The heel might not even be touching, and that's fine, but you're just letting that bottom of the foot or calf stretch. Feel the release. Now I want you to take a moment, be kind of halfway in that foot. And I want you, the foot that was kind of floating off the mat, I want you to use that one now and stretch kind of into the toes. So you might feel this in the bottom of the foot more. Make sure you get all 5 of those toes on that side. And then switch that last time, the last side, the arch of that last foot. Good. By now you're like, okay, I'm done with down dog. Just one more moment here. We're going to flow through, making sure we're engaging those shoulders, core drawn in, and we shift forward, finding your plank. Maybe this is where you go into your kneeling plank and lower down. Inhale, lift up. Maybe you're passing through child's pose first, that's just fine. And then lift up to down dog. Let's do one time full, or what you just did is fine. Bring it up to your forward fold. Walk the feet up to the hands or hands to the feet. Nice ragdoll stretch, kind of let that neck relax, decompress a little bit. And then we'll slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time. All the way up to standing, reaching those hands high. Exhale, pull down. Pause there as you inhale, lift the chest, kind of pull the shoulder blades back even more. And then I want you to exhale, bring the hands to heart center, kind of round, tuck the tailbone, engage the core. Kind of active cat-cow. Inhale, open. Exhale, engage. Engage the front body. Now engage the back body. Okay, just hands out to side. Inhale, lift. And exhale, swan dive down. Arms back in those airplane arms. Let's pause in that halfway. So we have a straight, neutral spine. We're not rounded down yet. I want you to think about pulling the shoulder blades back. We're going to end up in our airplane or warrior 3 throughout class today. So I want you to feel what it feels like to have that strong, neutral spine. Hands reaching back, upper back engaged, and core drawn in. Good, we get to release and relax down to our forward fold in 3, 2, and 1. Again, another little ragdoll stretch. Sway side to side, back and forth. And you can step or hop back, find your flow. So flow through. Medium back and down dog. And take that right foot lifted high. Exhale, pull that knee to nose, thigh to chest, and then we set that foot down. So if you're somebody that it gets halfway, a couple things we can work on is core engagement and then hamstring flexibility, hip flexibility. If it does only land halfway, let's get it up the rest of the way. Use the hand and inhale high, crescent lunge. So if you need to take some low back arch out of it, bend the knee. What we're gonna do is 5 times back and forth between our reaching, crescent lunge, and then our balancing warrior 3. What warrior 3 is arms extended forward. We're gonna do airplane arms. So reach your arms back, try to slide and lift off that back foot coming into your, I'm just gonna call it airplane here. Slowly with control of that front leg, drop that back leg, reach high. Inhale and exhale, reach forward, try to lift off. If you don't lift off all the way, that's fine. If you lift off an inch, that's great. 3 more times. Exhale, lift off. Take a breath there. Inhale, reach high. 2 more times. Reach forward and back. Down and up. Good, last time. Good, take those hands down. Find your kind of field goal position. Hands then down to the ground, and right foot steps back into down dog. Forward and down, up and back. Left foot lifts high. Think about finding that connection, thigh to chest, knee towards that nose, and then set that foot down. Good, take it into that crescent lunge. Pause there. Think you get almost like a breath and a half in each position. Reach forward, find that balance. Maybe toe just slightly comes off. And then on your next inhale, because we're reaching high, you reach to crescent lunge. Next exhale, lift. Drop with your inhale. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, lift up. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, lift up. If you are faster than slower than me, that is just fine. Find your rhythm that works for you. Remember, inhale, reach high. Last time up. And crescent lunge, hold that. Take it down, find those cactus arms, pause there for a moment, engage the core, and drop those hands down. Take your left foot back and flow through. Hop or step up, find your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, back down. And roll up 1 vertebrae at a time, all the way to standing. Inhale high. Okay, so kind of how we warmed up the front and back motion. What I want you to do before this next sequence is feel what it feels like. So we did this practice kind of airplane hinge. I want you to feel that same stability in a triangle. So what I'm gonna have you do is turn sideways on your mat, right foot forward. Find the bottom half of you is in triangle. Then slightly start to pop that hip towards the back of your mat. So for me, the left foot is towards the back, so pushing the left hip out. What I want you to think is from where your ribs are and your hips are equal on both sides. If I start to round, this side gets smaller and this side gets bigger. We need it to be the same. So you stop where you start to make this side smaller and this side bigger. Once we're there, this is where I have to stop before I start closing in this side. Then we can have our arms reaching out. That's finding your deep, strong core to stabilize your spine. Exhale, draw it in. Feeling a lot of side core, hopefully with this stability instead of just letting ourselves stretch. That feels good sometimes, but I want you to find that strength. Okay, let's step it forward and switch sides. So now your right foot's back. And again, letting the hips kind of drop off to the back of the mat, so your right hip's dropping back. Start to have that straight line from the top of your head down towards your tailbone. Might be down towards that bottom leg too, but we might be able to angle a little bit more. Now naturally, you kind of just want to keep rounding, and this side shortens. So make sure they feel equal between hips and ribs. Stop where they stay equal and extend the arms. Here's your stable posture to feel that. Hopefully feeling side core engagement. Good, come on up. And then now we get to flow through. So take those hands lifted high. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, back down. Hop or step back, and you flow through. Find your flow, knees or toes. And right foot lifts high. Exhale, think the same core muscles. Pull that thigh to the chest, set that foot down, but this time you rotate that back foot open, warrior two. So we're going from warrior two to our balancing half moon. This might not be the full expression of a balancing half moon. We're just finding that balance with stable, strong core. So first, just taking it down into warrior two. I want you to think all your weight, your balance is going to go on your front foot, your right foot. So as I start to reach forward towards the front of my mat, I lean my weight onto that foot, onto that leg, and try to lift. See how my torso is still a straight line, and drop back down. Maybe we can start going farther and farther forward. And lift high, lift that back leg, and back down. Find your rhythm of breath, it's up to you. And two more. The last one, I want us to start from the low position. So once you meet back into that warrior two, what I'm going to have you do, now we can kind of round that torso a little bit. I want you to find your fingertips towards the mat. Even if that means you have to round forward a little bit, find those fingertips. Lean off to that front leg again, pick up the leg. Set your lower body really well. So I know now you can see that my side body is really rounded and twisted. We're going to try to come into that straight line from here, which is a little trickier sometimes. So we slowly start to engage that side core a little bit more. Come to the fingertips. Lift that back left glute to try to find that straight line. Open up the chest. Drop it down when you need to. Circle around into that crescent lunge, cactus arm hold. Big breath in. Exhale, bring it forward, hands down. Right foot steps back. And flow through. Good, and take the left foot high once you're there, once you're ready. And slide that left thigh to the chest, all the way forward, and rotate that back heel down. Same thing on this side. We're gonna find the balance from the top. So it might not be that full expression of the move by any means, and that's okay. Core drawn in, shoulders down, and then we take it forward. So lean into that front leg and slide, try to lift that foot off. Set it back down. If you can hold that balance longer than just a tiny little lift, do that. Find that rhythm of breath that we found in our first sequence. Number 3, lean forward, lift off, maybe tip down. Okay, now we're gonna take our last one. When you get to that 5th one, we're gonna come all the way down, fingertips to the ground. Remember, starting from the bottom and going up. So from here, finding the ground, maybe a block, chest might be rounded forward. At this exact moment, that's okay. Core engaged though. Then we start to bring that weight over the front leg, first lifting the back leg. And we're like, okay, we're ready to try to lift that torso into a straight line. Engage that back leg. Slowly start to lift, finding somewhere to look on the ground. Come up to the fingertips, maybe up a little taller. It's okay if you're wiggly. And when you are ready for it, drop that back foot down. Switch into that crescent lunge. Pull into those cactus arms. Engage the upper back and front and down. Take it back, down dog. Flow. Okay, pause in your down dog or child's pose. Gonna take a moment. We're gonna practice linking together our airplane and our half moon. Again, we might not get the full expression of that airplane warrior 3. We might not get the full expression of that airplane. The idea is strengthening the hip and hamstring, opening and closing in balance with only one foot. So we're gonna do that on the right foot first. We're just gonna go right into it instead of standing up and flowing through that. So let's take it back into down dog if you're in child's pose. If you're ready for it, we got our right foot lifted high. Exhale, pull all the way through. First, our crescent lunge. Inhale, lift high. Think, okay, I'm setting up that right foot nice and strong. And we fly forward into that airplane. Okay, so from airplane, pick your spot on the ground, a little speck that you can keep looking at. Maybe your hands go out to that capital T as you open up the hips. If you fall a bunch or you hold the wall next to you, that is just fine. Open the hips and now try to close them. We'll go 3 times. Okay, so now open them again back to that balancing half moon. 2, now close the hips back to airplane. If you're a different angle so that back toe can be down, that's just fine, but try this balance. Last time, and staying in our balancing half moon, drop that back foot down, warrior 2. Slide that hand forward, crescent lunge. Pull those arms back, open the chest, engage the core, bring the hands forward and down. Right foot steps back. Last flow this side, but flow through first. And take your left foot lifted high, sweep it through, pull that thigh to the chest, then forward. Crescent lunge. And we take it forward, really set up that left foot, take it forward, airplane. Remember, you can be at that other angle. So what I was talking about on the other side, maybe that right toe is down and you try to open up to the side and then close again, still keeping that foot down. If you can, try that full foot off. Go at your own pace 3 times. Half moon. Opening up the hips. When you fall down, just get back up again. And close. Engage the core, the glutes. Extend that leg back. Half moon. Airplane, 1 more half moon and we stay there. And warrior 2. Good, pause in warrior 2. Back to crescent lunge and pull down. Engage that upper back, lift the chest. Exhale, pull the core in and then down. Take it back, flow through. Go ahead, pause in that down dog or child's pose. We get to hold 4 stretches on each side to end with and let our bodies calm down a little bit more after the work of balancing. So if you're in down dog right now, come down to your all 4 position, so just set your knees down. If you're in child's pose, come on up. I just want you to take your right foot forward, swing it around, tall, low lunge. So if you have any knee pain, slide a little cushion under that left knee. Little tuck of the tailbone, make sure it's coming from the pelvis and not just the torso or upper back. So tuck the tailbone, lean forward a little bit. I always love to add either a twist or a lean so you can reach that left hand high. And we're just going to hold 15 seconds. Find your own breath. Hopefully feeling that right in the hip crease. Okay, right here coming into our half splits, or splits if you want it. We're going to lean it forward, but try to find that strong straight spine. So right now I'm really rounded in my spine, so if I think tailbone pushes back to the back of the room, really straightens my back out a little bit more. Maybe that bends the knee, that's fine. 15 seconds, hold. And then we're gonna go forward and we're gonna bring both hands on the inside of that right leg. I'm gonna call it modified warrior 2. So that left leg, I want your shin to be parallel with the ends of your mats. And then we're gonna come back up again and slowly bring some weight forward. Again, you might need that little extra cushion on the back knee. The idea is feeling inner thighs, hips. Think of these are the same muscles you were working and stretching in our balancing half moon. Last one is going to be our gate pose. So press that weight over that left knee, keeping the right leg straight, foot flexed. We're going to go up and over. If you let the hips kind of drop out, just like in triangle, you'll start to feel your inner thigh a little bit more. Keeping the foot flexed, engaged. Bring both hands down into the mat, rotate that left foot and right foot back. If you'd like to flow through, just one more time. We'll do our hold on the other side. So left foot slides forward. Have that tuck of the tailbone. Remember, we can add that or lean. Tuck the tailbone. Whether you find a little twist, definitely feels great, or a little lean. If you don't have me saying what's 15 seconds, and you're just doing a couple stretches on your own, holding for 15 seconds each, you can count like 5 breaths. That'll land you somewhere in the 15 to 30 second range. Good, take it down into our half split or full splits if you would like. And again, maybe trying, instead of having that rounded back, you bend the knee a little bit, really push the tailbone back. Be mindful about what you're doing. I know sometimes thoughts of the day start to creep back in once we slow down. Bring it here, the sensations you feel in your body. Learning where you put your body differently, where you feel it. You're gonna go into that modified warrior 2, so rotate your right shin parallel to the ends of the mat. I like to do hands in the hips to really feel what side they're tipping onto. Again, cushion on that back knee if you need. Our last one is that gate pose. So coming back, body weight over the right knee, straightening out the left, bringing the left toes back. Engage the core, and remember as that right hip shifts to the back of the mat, you might start to feel that inner thigh more. If you keep the hips stacked, you'll feel it in the side body more. Both are great. You'll just feel a difference. Bring both hands on the inside of that left foot, rotate the right, and sweep the left around. Take a few moments in child's pose, and then we'll actually come onto our back. So walking the feet forward, knees forward. Grabbing the knees and slowly roll down. If you have any little routine you like to do, setting up for your final relaxation, feel free to do that. Maybe bring the knees into the chest, little rock side to side. When you're ready, I want you just to settle into your moments of stillness and silence once again. Sometimes these opposite spirals of rotations of the hips and the shoulders just feel balancing. So I want you to just try for this first few moments, is bring your feet up and then like tenting your knees together. So resting your knees in. Just a slight little internal rotation of your hips. Might feel good, it's just something different for our bodies. And then for upper body, do the opposite of that. So that means externally rotating. So open up the chest, open up the shoulders. Taking a big breath in. You can either stay in this posture position or find anything that just really feels good and you can settle into, whether that's straight legs, butterfly legs, hands resting on the body or next to it. You can stay here as long as you would like. What I want you to bring to mind first before moving on is just a piece of gratitude for a situation you're in right now, maybe something that you didn't expect, but find a piece of gratitude in the equation. Keep connected to the breath and keep connected to the present moment. Again, stay here as long as you would like. I want to thank you all for coming and joining and watching.